Last few days have been really emotional for our office. We've been getting a lot of text messages, phone calls from family members inside the United States, but also in Ukraine, trying to understand what they can do right now, what are the options for those that are interested to come to the United States, or those that are currently in the United States, how can they stay? In this video, I'll go over all the options that are currently available for Ukrainian citizens inside the United States, but also those that are trying to come in, and what potential options the United States government might open for Ukrainian citizens. So, if you're interested in this, I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody and welcome to our immigration channel. If you're here for the first time, this is an immigration channel where we provide immigration information, immigration updates for those of you that are going through the immigration process, whether you're inside the United States or outside. In this special video, I wanted to address the situation with Ukraine, specifically people that are currently inside the United States, and also those that are trying to come in to the United States. Before we jump in, my name is Jacob Sapochnick and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California. And I'll try to do the second part of this video in Russian, just to summarize a few of the things for those that are not familiar with the English language. So if you know somebody that does not speak English, you can still forward that video to them because I will share some information in Russian at the end of this video. And also, if you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our immigration channel. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. A lot of people need that information and it's important to be informed. So as you know, since Russia invaded Ukraine, there's been a lot of tension and a lot of people are anxious about what's going to happen with their family members that are currently in Ukraine, with people that are actually currently in Ukraine trying to get out of Ukraine. Many are interested in actually coming to the United States to try to seek some sort of refuge. So I'll try to break down in this video the things that you can do if you are part of the situation. So first of all, let's talk about people that are currently inside the United States. More than 500 universities send a letter to ICE requesting special relief for Ukrainian students that are currently inside the United States. If you're from Ukraine and you're a student on an F1 visa, you're here in the United States, you may be eligible for some relief. We'll see what happens. This was just sent a few days ago and we're waiting for ICE to respond. But the idea is, you want to make sure the students that are not able to attend school full-time because they are worried, because they're not able to concentrate on school, because financially they're not able to do so, their F1 status, their SEVI status is not going to be impacted. That's one of the things that are requested in this letter. Also, this letter will be linked in the description of this video if you want to be able to read this. Another thing that possibly requesting that these students, there are over 3,000 Ukrainian students currently in F1 status inside the United States, perhaps allow them to get an emergency work permit to be able to work in case they're not able to get financial assistance from back home because their families are not able to wire their funds. Some students are getting money on a monthly basis, and right now because of the situation in Ukraine, they're not able to receive money. They're not able to receive any funds to continue to live here and pay for school. So temporary work authorization for these students was requested from ICE, and let's see what will happen with that. So these are some of the things that could happen to students. They're talking about some sort of relief. And also, if you're currently inside the United States on a different status, let's say you came here as a visitor to visit your family, to visit your student child, and you're currently stuck here because you're not able to go back to Ukraine, you should and you're able to apply for your tourist visa extension. You can extend it in 6 months increments, and just like happened during the COVID pandemic crisis, people were able to stay on their tourist visas over a year, sometimes up to a year and a half, extending their status in 6 months increments. You know, typically when there is an unusual situation, where there's a crisis, when there's an emergency, the USCIS should be able to exercise discretion and allow you to extend your tourist status even beyond the 6 months, even beyond the 1 year that is allowed for you to stay in the United States. So don't worry, even if your status is coming to an end and it's expiring in the next few days and next few weeks, you're still able to extend it. And even if for some reason you overstayed for a few weeks because you forgot to do it, because you didn't know, you can still file an extension. USCIS has a lot of discretion and they still should be able to allow you to extend your status. So if you're currently in the United States on a tourist status, consider extending your status or changing your status to something else, maybe like a student or some other type of visa. For example, we have a lot of clients from Ukraine that applied for the E2 visa as an investor visa to start a business. Quite a few of our Ukrainian clients that were coming to the United States back and forth to visit their children or to even explore possibilities to move to the United States are currently here in the United States while this crisis started. So they are able to change status from a tourist visa to an E2 visa. Ukraine is part of a treaty between the United States and Ukraine that allows them to start their own business. If you're not aware of that, you should know that if you are from Ukraine, you are eligible to get yourself an E2 investor visa to build yourself a business in the United States, and that could be a way for you to stay here indefinitely while your business is operating. Russia, for example, is not part of that treaty, so citizens of Russia are not eligible for the E2 visa. Now, what else is going to happen? The government is considering offering temporary protected status to Ukrainians, just like they've done for Venezuela and people from Myanmar. They will allow people who are currently inside the United States from Ukraine, once they pass this TPS, it hasn't passed yet, but we're hoping that it's going to come, because as this crisis continues to become a humanitarian crisis, so many people are being killed over there, it's impossible for Ukrainians to go back home. We hope that the United States government, and we hope that it's going to happen as soon as this week or maybe next week, to allow for temporary protected status, which will allow these nationals to stay in the United States and also apply for a work permit. So while they're here, they're going to also be able to work. So that is something that we're really hoping is going to happen. That is the most important thing, to be able to help the thousands of Ukrainians that are currently inside the United States. Another thing that we've seen that happened with the crisis in Afghanistan is humanitarian parole. If you have a family member in the United States, a US citizen or legal permanent resident, you are going to be able to apply for humanitarian parole to bring that family member over here. Typically, they're going to have to try to get out of Ukraine to apply in a third country like Poland or Romania or any other country that will take them to apply for that humanitarian parole. Right now, unfortunately, there's a backlog with these humanitarian paroles. So it's something to think about, because even if you apply for it, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to get it right away. Think about it if you qualify based on what I described to you right now. Now, a lot of people are asking, what about asylum? Well, remember, asylum has very specific requirements. You have to really qualify, you have to have some sort of attachment to a political party, or you have to be personally affected by a situation. Right now, we don't have too much guidelines, but I know that people from Ukraine that are able to come to US borders should be able to claim asylum if they meet their minimum requirements, if they have a credible fear to go back home. And obviously right now there's a big crisis and quite a few people could qualify for asylum. But remember, to qualify for asylum, unlike refugee status, you actually have to be able to come to the United States, either be inside the United States already or show up at the border. Now, people that are already here in the United States typically can only apply for asylum within the first year. However, there is an exception if circumstances have changed. And of course, the war that just is happening now in Ukraine is a huge change in circumstances. And obviously, people that are currently inside the United States might also qualify for asylum. That's why it's important for you to consult an immigration attorney that can analyze your case and verify if you qualify for asylum. So that's in a nutshell the options. Remember, if you're here in the United States, try to extend your status, change your status to something else. You should be able to continue prolonging your status here as long as you're here. The government should be flexible. And if you're a student, we're hoping to see that relief coming for students in the next few weeks. Now, let me address a few of these points in Russian as well. My Russian is not perfect, but I can speak it. So let's dive into this update in Russian as well. And again, if you know somebody who speaks Russian and can benefit from this video, make sure you share that with them. Добрый день, друзья! Очень приятно. Меня зовут Джейкоб Sapochnick, я иммиграционный адвокат в Калифорнии, здесь Сан-Диего. Я хотел дать информацию гражданину Украины, который находится в США, которые сейчас или здесь туристы, или студенты. Если вы находитесь в Америке сейчас, вы сможете менять ваш статус, вы можете менять ваш статус на туристический статус, вы можете удлинить ваш статус как турист, даже больше, чем 6 месяцев, потому что сейчас иммиграции, они понимают, что есть проблемы там в Украине, и они вам дадут возможность ваш статус удлинить, пока вы находитесь в Америке. Если вы студент, будет возможность получить какие-то права на работу здесь. Мы сейчас ждем более информации про иммиграции, и когда мы будем знать, я вам сообщу здесь на этот channel. Если вы находитесь в Америке сейчас, и вы с Украины, вы даже можете подать на политическую убежность. Есть циркумстанции, которые вы должны проверить, но если вы находитесь здесь, даже если прошел год, вы можете пытаться подать на политическую убежность. Если вы сейчас находитесь в Украине, Мы ждем сейчас информации с государством, если получить разрешение подавать на парол. Если вы имеете здесь семья в Америке, вы сможете сюда приехать как убежище на парол. Это все сейчас мы ждем информации с государства, но очень важно вам знать, что вы должны уйти с Украины в другую страну, как Польша или Румыния, и там вы можете подать на визы, на туристическую визу, на студенческую визу, какие-то визы, что они могут вам дать, приехать сюда в Америку. Когда вы будете жить в Америке, тогда будет более возможность вам помочь. Разные визы, которые, может быть, украинский гражданин может получить. Одна виза очень интересная, это виза И-2. Это И-2 гражданин Украины, который может инвестировать в Америке, стать свой бизнес. Если вы уже находитесь в Америке, мы можем поменять ваш статус от туриста на И-2. Если вы находитесь в Украине, вы сможете оттуда уехать на другую страну и приехать сюда. Мы можем подать на визу И-2 в другое посольство. Это очень интересная виза. И, конечно, если вам надо информация, вы не можете пошлять имейл или текст-месседж. Мой номер находится здесь. Я очень благодарю вас, что вы смотрите это видео. И мы надеемся, что ситуация там будет лучше. Сан-Диего, спасибо, что смотрели наше видео. И я надеюсь, что мы можем вам помочь. Once again, thanks for watching our video. To the citizens of Ukraine, our prayers are with you. Stay strong. We are here with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.